Join us as we make a quick trip into the Vic High Country to try out some of the most iconic tracks through the mountains. From climbing the Blue Rag Range track to enjoying a pub meal at the famous Dargo Hotel, it doesn't get much better than this. That is, until you wind up stranded at the bottom of a mountain.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Victorian High Country. Now, if you've been watching along for our Big Lap series, you know that just recently we jumped from WA into South Australia, and now all of a sudden we're here in the Victorian High Country.
Right, already into Victoria, just smashing through the States, be home in like another 2 weeks' time. No, look, this was a conscious decision. We decided, since we were so close to the Vic High Country when we were in South Australia, why not duck in for like a week or two and tick off some of the bucket list items on our list, because when we come back here in winter, some of these tracks might be closed and we just didn't want to risk it. So yeah, we figured why not come here while the weather is much more, I don't know, amenable to roads being open, and explore some of the places around here. Yeah, exactly. So just here for roughly a week, and then we're going to be ducking back into South Australia and doing that a lot more thoroughly. So stay tuned for those episodes coming out soon. Right now we're camped up at a place called Castleburn Creek. Is that what it's called? Yep. Beautiful spot. There's a river that kind of just like ducks behind the car there. Stunning spot, green grass, beautiful mountain behind us, just spectacular. But we're about to pack away camp and get on the road and go and check out something that's pretty up there on the Victorian High Country list, the Blue Rag Range track. Yeah, so we're really excited for this one, and we are hoping, fingers crossed, that this cloud cover buggers off a little bit, because the whole idea that we've been camped up for a couple of days was actually to let some really quite terrible weather pass over the last 2 days. It's been raining non-stop. So we're hoping that today, when we get up there, it clears up and we get a nice view and we're not just stuck in a dense cloud. Absolutely. So we can't wait for this track. It's one of those like must-do items in the Vic High Country. So stoked to be here, stoked to go and check it out. So I reckon we better go and pack camp away and get on the road. We are Daniel and Bianca from Explorebound, and this is our Big Lap series. At the start of 2025, we packed our entire life into our trusty D-Max and headed off for the trip of a lifetime. Starting in Perth, WA, we are making our way around mainland Australia to try and see as much of this beautiful country as we can fit into the year. We'll be sleeping in our rooftop tent and living out of our fully custom DIY canopy fit out that's been a year in the making just for this trip. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey while we take you through all the highs and lows that the Big Lap can bring. This series is proudly supported by Anaconda and also made possible thanks to iTech World, Altic, and Tygear. On our way out of town, we couldn't pass up the opportunity to stop in for a meal at the iconic Dargo Hotel, which has been at the heart of the Vic High Country for over 100 years. You happy with yourself? Very happy.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's got everything.
So after a bit of lunch at the Dargo Hotel, which is well worth stopping in for, we are currently winding our way up and down various hills towards the start of the Blue Rag Range track.
We are. It's really picturesque too. It's nice to be able to see these roads in somewhat clear weather, although as I'm saying that, we're literally driving into a cloud again.
We're getting patches of blue, right?
But there are some blue skies and we can actually see it, and like, yeah, man, it's just crazy driving along and there's just like huge drop-offs on the side all of a sudden.
Yeah, these roads really are next level. So we rolled in for the first time a couple of days ago and got to really experience those hills, and there's like nothing can really prepare you for how sheer the drop-offs are and how close the road actually drives to those drop-offs. So we were kind of like white knuckling it as we're making our way up the hills. Weren't quite prepared for such a rapid ascent, but what an experience.
And it was so terrifying too, like especially because it was quite rainy and it was very wet and very like misty when we came up, and so, and being passenger, I was on the side of like the cliffside, and it was just terrifying to be like driving along and just looking down like hundreds of meters of nothing.
So just pulled up at the start of this track and chatting to a nice guy here who just kind of poked his nose up, and he said it does get pretty hairy just over this next bend, quite a steep descent and then a steep ascent on the other side. So we're just going to chuck our tyres down, then poke our nose up and have a look.
Yeah, looking from this angle though, it looks pretty gnarly. Even just the first bit, I don't know how we'll get over some of those bumps.
Alrighty, here we go. Got our tyres down to roughly 20 psi, diff lock engaged, four-wheel drive, low range, changing to second. Let's see how we go. It looks pretty hairy.
Yeah, it looks pretty gnarly. Left hand down, hard. Yep, pretty good.
It is steep. So I think this track changes around quite a lot depending on when you're doing it. We were watching some footage the other night of the bit we just completed, and it looked just like a nice flat road without a bump in it, right?
Just a nice little ramp, you know, but it's there. It's obviously been dug out a little bit, and the rain doesn't help, but all in all, that's alright.
Yeah.
We got up the first little bit, now we'll see what else this track has to offer. Holy almighty, that is steep. What the actual? Oh my god, that is steep.
Just can you just walk it first for us, Bianca? Take the radio, let me know.
That's steep.
Diff lock is now engaged, this next section. This must be the part that guy we were chatting to on the track said he got this far. It looked a bit too gnarly for him, so he turned back essentially. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
If you're watching this wondering what type of vehicle can do blue rag, I suppose, just for context, we're doing it in a 2022 Isuzu D-Max, 2-inch lift and 33-inch tyres with a rear diff lock from factory. So,
and the tyres are what type?
They are Maxxis 811 Razor all-terrain tyres. They're just all-terrains, but they're more of an aggressive all-terrain.
Oh, that's a big hole. What do we do?
Come on, D-Max, let's go through it.
We just hang on for dear life. Whoa! Bloody hell. Got a bit of wheel lift there.
Diff lock for the win.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we would have been able to do that without the diff lock.
No.
What a view though, holy lord.
Too slippery yet.
Oh, it does. That is sloppy mud.
Where's the outside camera when you need? We've just had some clouds come over too, but so far they're above us, and so we've still got this epic view out both windows.
Wow.
Oh,
That is just spectacular. I can't, words won't ever do it justice.
So finally made it to the top. That was definitely a bit of an interesting climb there. Not quite what we were expecting, but made it to the top nonetheless. And we're currently parked underneath the trig point on the summit of the hill here.
Yeah, so my God, spectacular. And the views up here are just crazy phenomenal. Like, I don't know, it's just 360 degrees, like panoramic view with mountains galore everywhere. So
you can absolutely see why they call it the high country.
Yeah, well, it's very high, but also like, I don't know, there's just, I've never seen anything like this, and we definitely don't have anything like this in WA, because for as far as you can see in literally every direction, there's just mountains and more mountains and more mountains and clouds on the mountains.
Yeah.
Really
we can
nice.
see some evidence on the floor here, there and everywhere of people who have actually set up camp here at the summit, which would be pretty damn beautiful, must admit.
Very beautiful, but Jesus Christ, is it cold.
The wind's just starting to come in now and the clouds are kind of coming overhead, so I don't think we'll be camping here tonight, but beautiful to be here for now to appreciate it before heading back down to find camp for the afternoon.
Yeah. So I think Daniel's a bit annoyed at me.
There's a perfectly good road and Bianca's like, turn down there, that's a shortcut. Not a shortcut, long cut. And we can't turn around and go back this way because the stuff would just come down. If the car was starting to get down, like the back was trying to slide and take over the front end, so
we had to commit.
100% committed to this track.
Which is a little nerve-wracking, but again, people have come down here and I feel like they wouldn't come down here if they then couldn't get back up, which seems impossible, which means there has to be a way forward. It's all an adventure. Oh, never mind, it's not over yet. going. You might as well just drive off a cliff at this rate. And that is the sound of brakes failing. But we made it to the next ledge of the next cliff. Oh my god. There we go. We got some. The track goes very hard left. Do you want me to check over that second peak?
Yep.
Ooh. It's not great news. Because it goes down to the creek bed and goes into the creek bed. And I can't see where that bed is because I haven't walked down that far. So, it is currently just past 10 p.m. and man, story time.
Yeah, so
It's not where we expected to be.
the tail end of this track was so insanely steep. We tried to put a little calibrator on it. It was like 30 degrees in some points.
Yeah.
Crazy steep and slick mud towards this tail section. And by the time we kind of realized how steep and slippery it was almost too late. So we literally slid our way.
Too late, yeah.
We slid our way down here with no ability to turn around and go back up the same track we came, which is not a situation you should ever get yourself into. Always know you can get back the route you came.
Yep.
We stuffed up there and we arrived down at the very bottom, hopeful that it was going to link into a track that would take us to camp.
Desperate.
It does not. It leads to a river that's actually flowing pretty decently thanks to the recent rainfall in the last couple of days. So if we want to continue along this route, we're going to have to enter that river and drive up well over 100 meters. I did a bit of like just finger measuring on Google. It's about 140 meters to an exit point we have found. I've only walked half the river. It's not crazy deep and it is like a rocky surface underneath, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I'm not sure what that tail end's like, so we're in a bit of an impasse now as to what to do.
By the time we got to the bottom of this hill, it was nighttime, which again, not great, but like that's just the way it went. So yeah, definitely pretty serious, but in the same token, we're safe, we've got food and water, we're gonna sleep up for the night and we're gonna reassess in the daylight because there's no point, you know, you get to this point and you're kind of panicking, you're like, holy shit, what have we done? Like, are we ever gonna get out? It's pretty terrifying. We'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully we are a little more cheerful and hopeful.
Happy days.
Happy camping.
Good morning. So we've woken up after not getting very much sleep at all last night, apprehensive about this very thing we're about to undertake right now. But I've just been doing some reconnaissance as to what route we should take if we do indeed decide to take this river. This is pretty gnarly. So like right here, you can't even see the bottom of this river.
It is very much a river, not just a crossing. We'll be driving down a river.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not just like in one side out the other. We are following the river along.
It's a good like 150 or so meters of in the river.
Actually it is. I did a little Google Maps thing, so it's easy 140 to 160
Not to
meters.
mention, like where you get down or drop down into the riverbed, there's not much hope of getting back up that because there's not really a place to winch off if we wanted to, and it's very steep and it's very muddy, so that is also a concern.
Absolutely committed.
But equally so, I had to walk back up the hill, very tiring, my God, and got like not even a quarter of the way up of the whole hill and got to the really hairy bit that we remember doing last night. And look, it'd be possible, but it's just so much can go wrong so quickly, and we're the only people out here, like, we're not in an easily recoverable place, and if something goes wrong further up the hill, you just have so much more risk.
And I'm just not confident enough in my winching ability. Like, I know how they work. I've seen them worked. I've tested this one out, but I've not used it repetitively for the 2 hours it would take to get us out of here.
Not to mention the strain it would put on the battery of the car. Like, the winch is going to be using a lot. We're not going to be putting a lot of feed in through the alternator, so we'd have to give the winch brakes to let the battery charge back up.
So not an ideal situation to be in, but I guess we're in it now, so we're going to have to find ourselves a way out, or at least find someone to give us a hand. So yeah, let's go back to the car, get these long pants off, jump in the water and suss it out.
Let's go for a swim.
Kind of aim for left wheel around these rocks, like just to the right. And I'm hoping we can stick to the right here.
This is like painfully cold.
Yeah. Okay, this is still fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, it's getting...
Let's go a little further left just to see how much room we've got for it to change it. Okay, so like worst case scenario, if we end up in there, it's still doable.
It's also cold. Wow.
Is it an issue in terms of pulling us down into that hole?
I don't think so. It's the deepest point.
Okay, so that's okay. We won't die in that. Daniel might.
Yeah, this is actually quite evenly shallow, so long as we get through that section back there.
Okay, that's the hardest bit. Now we're shallowing up, and there's that exit.
So we get to here, and we have 2 exit opportunities. One just here, a bit of a rock step there. One up around the corner, which looks a lot better. And this water here, much shallower. So we should be able to muck around here and get ourselves lined up for that exit. And then we'll finally be free.
Alrighty, so we have walked the river.
We think it is doable, very doable. It's just going to be a matter of precision wheel placement. So Bianca here has kindly volunteered / been designated the role of walking in front of the car.
But we're currently airing down our tyres a little bit more because we're only at like 25, I think.
Around there. So
Or
we're going
20.
down to 15 to give us the most amount of traction on those rocks without going too far that opens you up for sidewall punctures. That's my only concern with going down low on rocky terrain like this. But those rocks are pretty smooth down there, so I don't think that's too much of a concern.
No.
And we've cased out a pretty good route, you reckon?
Yep, so we've walked it twice. We both are confident with the track I'll be spotting, as Daniel said, and yeah, there's touch wood. There's not too much that can go wrong in terms of it's not a really, really difficult track. Like it's not too deep, it's not too hard, but it is technical and it's not shallow in some parts.
So wish us luck, and here we go.
So of course, we couldn't possibly find a way out without having another problem.
Yeah.
We've had some dash lights come up on the D-Max for the power steering and for something else, I can't remember.
The differential lock.
The rear diff lock. Just saying that it's got an issue. So it's a bit of an electrical gremlin from the sounds of it, because the lights were on when we started the vehicle and then they kind of turn off, then turn back on, then turn back off, then turn back on. So it's like it's trying to sort itself.
So basically we've lost power steering as well in conjunction with all this. So on the way down that hill just there, the system was trying to reboot itself essentially, and I'd get power steering and I'd lose again, and I'd get power steering and I'd lose it again. So I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm just trying to literally pull every fuse and inspect it in here. So far no issues found. So we might just be cruising down this river with no power steering.
But yeah, so I mean the good news is, absolute worst case scenario, it's still drivable in terms of like the D-Max is still drivable, it'll still get us out. It'll just be a lot harder without that power steering, and obviously we don't want to damage anything. Those warning lights come on for a reason. You want to at least do your checks.
Yep, okay, now, if you can get on that little step, yep. Alright, now left hand down.
Good, left hand down a little bit more. Yep, alright. Straighten her up a little bit. Yep, that's good.
Okay, straighten her up a little bit. Hang on, I can't see that up on the right. Yep, cool, alright, keep going that projection, you're good. Yeah, good. Good, right hand down, tiny bit, yep, good. 3.
Yeah, good. Right hand down a tiny bit. Good.
Alright, keep crawling along. It's clear all on the right. You're clearing the boulders on the left easily.
We are approaching the deep zone now, which is the bit I'm not super confident about, but I reckon just looking now, it seems like the water level is on its way down. So fingers crossed it's a little bit shallower.
Good, stay straight, you're going good. Not even over the top of the tyres, mate. Through the worst of it. When you're ready, you may drive on past me and exit the river.
Will do.
Yay!
We made it. Hard bits over.
We did it! Whew.
This is like a nice campsite. I want to pull up for the night.
I can't feel my feet or legs again. It's a bit cold river.
You know what? That was actually fine. I think we were stressing
fine.
more than we needed to.
We could, yeah, it could have not been fine, but it
Yeah.
was good. Well done.
After conquering the river, we hit the tracks with the dashboard still lit up with aerolites. Our next obstacle between us and camp was the Crooked River track that winds along the river. This is a challenging track through the high country that changes a lot throughout the year, and it's known for having a crazy amount of river crossings.
So we are now on the Crooked River track and we're making our way very slowly and steadily towards Talbot Hill.
Carefully.
Yep, carefully. We've walked nearly every single descent that we've come across, but we are feeling so exhausted. I think it's finally starting to hit us, the adrenaline that's been keeping us going, about how, you know, that just that urgency to be like, shit, we're stuck, we need to get out. Now that we're out, like the nervous systems are starting to like wind down, and oh my God, I'm so exhausted.
Me too. So this is a pretty well-known track, this Crooked River track, and you can see why it's pretty beautiful. And it has a total of 24 river crossings, which 23, sorry, which we're not too enthusiastic about, but they are beautiful nonetheless. And if we were doing this on a fresh mind, on a fresh day, we would be loving this track.
We're just tired and want to get to camp.
Yes.
But it is, it's a very beautiful track, and the river crossings are lovely, and so far, like this deep.
Yeah.
I'll walk it. Nice shallow crossing. Ah, well, I'm not driving. You're cool.
Oh, it's fine. I don't love it, but we'll get up there.
Stick to the right.
Alright, let's have another crack, I think.
Straight as. It's okay, it just fell off the rock. Left on one tiny bit. Yep, perfect. No more. Straight ahead. Just keep going, you're good.
So we've come to a section towards the tail end of the Crooked River track that we've already had a go at. Can't get up, it's too slippery, and because of the angle it is sliding back down and bashing down the side of everything. So lucky, got a bunch of max tracks. Just gonna fill in a few of these holes to give us that extra traction. That's jammed under a rock, so that should be good. Just grip there. Gonna chuck one down there as well. I might even just get all four down. Just make a max tracks road, hey?
Or max tracks. Might be able to chuck a max track under where you are. Because you've spat 3 of them out. It is a muddy. Okay, so that's all good.
We've got ourselves into a little bit of pickle here. So for the first time ever, the winch is going to come out and hopefully save the day. So Bianca's kindly, while I'm sitting here on the brake, run ahead and hooked it around a nice thick tree. Got the winch damper in the middle, run a tree trunk protector there as well. Got my remote here. Yeah, let's see how we go.
Yep. Good. I think you just drive and winch. Nice. Yep. Beautiful. Yay! Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right hand down, yep. Alright, let the winch go a sec and keep driving forward.
Oh, I can see the value in winches now. Woohoo!
How much easier is that?
Yeah, that's a great thing to have in the car.
That is our first time ever needing to winch.
First official winch. And it's funny, like a couple of days ago I was saying to Bianca, man, we haven't done any long water crossings and I haven't had a chance to test the winch yet. How about both of those?
How about Daniel just shuts up?
Yeah. We've done it! Crooked River track complete.
Wow, oh this is like a big oval. Oh my god, we've done it. We've made it and this is beautiful.
I didn't sleep a wink last night. The storm was in my head. I was contemplating, tossing and turning in my bed. This is how it feels when all the welcomes have worn out. I guess the jig is up, it's time I head out. I'm leaving this town. I'm taking the same horse as before, not coming back around. If you feel like showing me the door, not gonna say see you later, 'cause you know I'm superstitious. I'll take one last kiss and all of your well wishes, 'cause I'm leaving this town.
Bit of an update for those of you who have been following along on our shelf adventures as our parcel shelf followed us all the way from WA. We finally got it and it's installed back there in the D-Max, and honestly, it is everything we hoped it would be and more. There it is up there behind the front seats, installed up there between the, essentially where those two factory grab handles install. So these little brackets go down there, connect to the shelf, and there it is all installed. So it might look a mess, but honestly, it's made our life so much easier. Got our Starlink up there, tissue box, there's a towel in there, Bianca's cereal, spare bedding, and other bits and pieces on that left. And it means we can get to all that stuff without it interfering with the stuff beneath. So we can still get in here, access our freezer, and our cameras and whatnot aren't stored on top. Cap hats, other bits and pieces. So all in all, we are pretty happy with that. So shout out to Bianca's family friends for letting us get that shelf sent to their address in Adelaide for us to then pick up and finally get installed. Very happy to finally have some more organised storage. So we made it after 23 river crossings on the Crooked River track, plus winching, plus using max tracks, muddy hill climbs, rocky hill climbs, this, that, and everything. We've finally arrived here at the Talbotville campground, and my God, this place is beautiful.
It is really, really stunning. Like it's almost like just a big grass oval. It's completely flat in most of the places. There's like a ton of fire pits, there's little picnic benches, and there's so much space. Like there's a massive group of Forbies parked just over the other side, and we can't even hear them.
Yeah, everyone has their own
we can barely
area.
see them. It's just massive, and it's got this beautiful river, the Crooked River, that flows straight past it, and yes, just stunning. How nice is this weather? My God, we are so lucky.
So we've been trying to take full advantage of that since being here. We've set camp up, opened the tent up to try and ventilate it out, pulled all our bedding out because it's all been getting a bit damp. The awning,
smelly.
the shower tent, the tent itself, everything has been getting like smelly and wet and all that. And so now we're just gonna get a fire going and pretty much relax around here.
We are, and in saying that, it's been a great day, but I am a little disappointed because today was meant to be when we did the Billy Goat Bluff Billy Goat Bluff Trail, track, whatever it is.
Conditions would have been perfect for it.
We literally waited for this beautiful sunny day because we saw the weather forecast and we're like, that's the clearest, sunniest day, that'll be the best day to do it. And so we had that plan, but obviously that's not what fate had in mind, and so we thought, oh, maybe we can do it tomorrow, but alas,
it's probably not going to happen. The D-Max, it's still got its warning lights on the dashboard. The power steering's still playing up. The rear diff lock's still not engaged, and is throwing an error code as well. A few others on the dashboard there as well that are yet to be properly identified. It's still driving okay, but just not something we want to be sending it up Billy Goat's Billy Goat track with those errors, just with that unpredictability. Don't know if it's going to cause us more issues, so unfortunately not going to be tackling that this trip. No,
which is sad because even when we come back later this year, it's going to be the middle of winter and chances are it will be closed, or even if it's open, we may not feel up to adventuring up there if it's snowy, especially after the experience we've just had. We kind of want to lay low with the full driving for a bit and just enjoy our car as a tourer rather than the beast of a full driver it's been the last like couple of days. So.
Yeah, but with all that in mind, we've still had an absolute blast exploring this Victorian High Country. It is so beautiful over here. Not just the four-wheel driving, but the towns as well. We could quite literally see ourselves living over here, I think. Just how picturesque those towns are. Like Myrtlesville, I think, was one we drove through. It was just stunning. Yep.
And Bright was another one. And obviously Dargo as well. Like, they're just beautiful. And like, the landscape around here, you've just got mountains galore. And very, very much impressed, and we wish that we could have seen more in terms of like our actual plan, but we will see more of it again when we come back. Yeah, and this was always going to be a bit of an extra anyway. We weren't planning on being here until later on in the year, which we still will be later as well. This was always going to be a bonus, and we got to see some awesome stuff while we're here and get some epic experiences too. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching along for this very brief dip into the Victorian High Country. Stay tuned for another episode coming out shortly, and we'll catch you in the next one. Happy camping. Join us next week as we make the split decision to continue our high country adventure. After exploring the second half of the Crooked River track and crossing the Kingmill Bridge, we decide to take on one of the steepest tracks in the Victorian High Country, the infamous Billy Goat's Bluff.